have been talking to us, what you are giving us, what are these lectures about.
Okay, thank you. This morning, as part of the meeting of formators here in Rome, we focused on the letter Pope Francis wrote about abuse in the church. And we wanted to look at what Pope Francis meant by a culture of abuse, the abuse of conscience, and clericalism. We began by looking carefully at culture. All of us are part of cultures. But culture is quite hard to define because it is part of who we are, how we work, how we talk, what we find amusing, what we find difficult, etc. So we explored that together as a group. I also then went on to talk about aspects of the culture of the church that commentators say have contributed to the context in which abuse took place. People have spoken about the avoidance of scandal, the protection of the assets of the church, the authoritarianism, the way that things are centralised in the Catholic Church, the difficulty of making certain decisions, the desire to avoid scandal, as I said. So various things we spoke about. But perhaps the most valuable thing we did this morning was to respond to Father General's invitation for ad intra prophecy, by which I think he meant to challenge ourselves and for the community to look more critically at aspects of pietist culture that are not healthy. So we did an exercise to look at what is healthy in pietist culture, and there are many healthy things: the love of children, the love of work, the commitment to mission, the love of the founder, and the traditions of the order. But then to look at the shadow side of that culture. What's unhealthy? What are the aspects of pietist life, way of living, way of working, that we really would like to change? Aspects that it's hard to talk about because we don't like being critical, but if we want to advance, as Pope Francis says, from a culture that is abusive to a culture of care, we need to talk about honestly and share among each other. So by the end of the morning, we began a conversation about the healthy parts of pietist culture and the unhealthy parts. And of course, as we began to explore them, to see ways that these two sides are related with our light and our shadow.